explain. Talking to myself, will I see again? Is it real? Would you become walking on a dream?
Just a single organ donor has the power to save the lives of up to 7 people. Imagine how many more lives could be saved if we all registered as donors. Register today and light the lives of others.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Optus Stadium. You have just heard the siren for our national sport, AFL. Today, it signifies the start of the World Transplant Games. Can you please welcome our teams into the stadium? Please welcome our very first team, Argentina, in their blue and white. Austria. When team member Martin Krimbacher last visited Perth, he received news that he needed his transplant. Belgium. We have seen members of the cycling team around Perth all week, getting some training under their belts. Brazil. They're here for just the second time in World Games history and will field a team of 20 athletes. Bulgaria. Please welcome their 2 athletes. Canada has a rich history at the Games with many records in the swimming. Please welcome their 21 athletes. China. Say ni hao to China's 8 team members. Colombia, our 3rd team from South America so far. Please welcome their 19 participants. Czech Republic has participated in every World Transplant Games and always returned with a medal. Please welcome our competitor from Denmark. Ecuador. Athletes from the northwest coast of South America, Spanish speaking, and the country's name means equator. Ethiopia, a country well known for its runners, has 9 athletes in these games. Finland, welcome to your 8 competitors. France, please say bonjour and welcome to the French team of 38. Great Britain and Northern Ireland always bring some very good track and field competitors with them. Track and field has been a prominent part of the Games since the very first Games in Portsmouth, UK in 1978. Last Games we had to add a new age group for runners over 80. And for the youngsters, seeing children finish a 25-metre or 50-metre dash in the arms of their parents is always a highlight of the Games. Germany, their team includes triathlon runner Elmar Sprink, who not only competes in Transplant Games, but also competes in Ironman events throughout the world in the open division. Germany will host the next World Transplant Games. Greece has sent a dozen of its finest transplant athletes to the Games this year. Hong Kong's team includes a recipient who became a nurse, Kar-Kit Chan, and his longtime medico, Dr. Chow. We also welcome Sophie, who is called Lele, which means grandmother in Canton Chinese. She has won 22 medals so far. Hungary has brought 34 athletes to these Games, and we know you will cherish this time in Australia. India. Their team includes our friend Anil, who has driven 80,000 kilometres to get here via North and South America, promoting organ donation along the way. He donated a kidney to his brother 8 years ago. His brother is a surgeon and has arrived in Perth to play golf in the Games. Ireland. Please welcome the team from Ireland, and we wish you all the luck of the Irish. Islamic Republic of Iran has a large contingent of 25 athletes. We say, Khosh Amadid, or welcome to you. Israel is represented in these games by 6 competitors. Italy's team includes cyclist Michael Brenner. This week is a big milestone for him, receiving his 3rd kidney transplant 1 year ago. He has competed in more than 15 World Transplant Games and won many medals. Following Italy is the team from Korea. Mexico. Let us say bienvenido, or welcome to our Mexican contingent. Mongolia. This is the first time Mongolia is competing in the Games. Nepal. From a very mountainous country to a very flat country like Australia, we welcome you. The Netherlands. Our Dutch friends have brought 11 team members to these Games. New Zealand. Our Kiwi friends have flown across the Tasman with 10 team members. Norway has sent 2 team members this year, and we wish you a wonderful time here. Poland. I want you all to say Witamy, which means welcome to our 21 competitors. Portugal is a very pretty country next to Spain, and we welcome 7 visitors here today. Singapore, our neighbours to our north, has a team of 7 in these games. Slovakia, say hello or dobry den to our 1 team member from Slovakia. South Africa has a climate very similar to Perth, so we hope you feel very much at home here. Spain, hola to our senors and senoritas from Spain.
Put you in the driver's seat. Don't gotta hurry in the middle of. When you grab a thing, gotta worry when tomorrow comes.
Sweden, the home of ABBA, has 6 members.
Gotta hurry now, 'cause we stay in control.
Switzerland includes our friend Fabiano, who took up golf after his transplant and won his first Games tournament a year later. Thailand has 34 athletes competing at the Games this year. They have a proud history at the World Transplant Games, especially in Patong, where they have won more medals than any other country. Turkey, please welcome our 1 athlete from Turkey. Uganda has 11 athletes representing them in their first appearance at the Games.
Think about our love and needs. Time, wanted you to stay for me. Be mine. Remember when we used to watch the lights, a light.
United States of America, please welcome the 60 team members from the USA. We're all wondering who will beat the USA at basketball in these games. Our basketball is 3 players for each side, with 1 hoop on half a court. It has been played twice at the World Transplant Games, and both times the USA took out gold. We're looking forward to another exciting competition and seeing who can challenge the Americans.
Better without me. Yeah, you're better without me. Yeah. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better.
Uruguay. Please welcome the 7 members from Uruguay. And finally, our host nation, please welcome Australia. Australia has a team of 244 athletes. 217 organ recipients, 12 living donors, and 15 donor family competitors. These athletes will compete in 17 different sports, from cycling and athletics to lawn bowls and darts. The Games are a celebration of life and encourage the transplant community to maintain healthy, active lifestyles. Oldest team member is Terry Donovan, 82, of Queensland, who received a new heart 30 years ago. Our youngest competitor is 4-year-old liver recipient Anthony Schiller from South Australia. He is excited to meet kids just like him and says he just wants to have fun. This is just the 3rd time that the World Transplant Games have been held in Australia. It will be the largest awareness event for organ and tissue donation that West Australians have ever seen. The Games provide living proof of the success of transplantation and encourages all Australians to discuss organ and tissue donation with their families. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the field for the very first time our new World Transplant Games baton. The baton comes to the stage via a 4,600 kilometre motorcycle ride with living donor Gordon Rutty.
Feel my knees. Feel my knees. Feel my knees. Turn around. Feel my knees. Feel my knees. Feel my knees. Feel my knees. Turn around. Feel my knees. Feel my knees. Feel my knees. Feel my knees. Turn around.
Some days are better days, but it's in these days we make the change. Some lies are fading lies, but they never fade out of our minds. Hello, hello, are you here or am I alone? I hope, gotta keep hanging on. Some ways are easy ways, but they never wash your fears away. Some highs are made up lies that just sold to get you satisfied. Hello, hello, are you here or am I alone? I hope, gotta keep hanging on. Hello, hello, are you here or am I alone? I hope, gotta keep hanging on.
Now, please save your biggest applause for the final members of our parade. These people are living donors and donor families. Please give them a huge Perth welcome as they join us at Optus Stadium.
Fall back. Bit more rows.
More guitar, please. Lots more. My brother said to me one day, I'm not gonna need 'em where I'm going, so I'm gonna give 'em away. I said, okay then, we'll do it just the way you planned. Then one day your world comes crashing down, and a phone call comes you'll never understand, and the wheels are set in motion of love and devotion as angels carry you away. On the other side of town, somebody's waiting for the phone call they're anticipating. And as they hurry through the night, there's an angel in flight and a chance to really live again. That's why I'm flying higher than I ever thought I would. I'm climbing mountains they said I never would, but I am and I can because of you. I'm making memories they said I never could. I'm doing things they said I never would, but I am and I can because of you. And then one day a letter sails in out of the blue and tells me everything has changed because of you, and the wheels are set in motion of love and devotion and a chance to really live again. 'Cause there are two sides of the story, tears of joy and tears of mourning happen at the same time on different faces, happen at the same time in different places. Yeah, there are hard things every day, oh, but miracles happen on the way, and in a moment life can change, and forever will never be the same. Oh, I'm flying higher than I ever thought I would. I'm climbing mountains they said I never would, but I am and I can because of you. I'm making memories they said I never would. I'm doing things they said I never could, but I am and I can because of you. Now it's your turn to sing it ready. We're singing oh, 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 oh.
Everyone.
Oh, oh, oh,
Let's hear it.
oh, 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 oh. Yeah, you gotta get singing. Oh, 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 oh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our MC for this evening's proceedings, Karen Tai.
Thank you very much and welcome to all of you. What a beautiful place, what a wonderful parade of nations and the procession into this Optus Stadium, and what an absolutely glorious venue this is here in Perth. And the music, such a beautiful story behind that, and I'll tell you a little more in just a moment. A very big welcome to our official party tonight, Mr. John Coates, Vice President of the International Olympic Committee, representing the President, Mr. Thomas Bach, Federal Assistant Minister for Health, the Honourable Jed Carney, the WA Minister for Health, the Honourable Amber Jade Sanderson, Mr. Jason Ryan, Chair, Transplant Australia, and Mr. Chris Thomas, President of the World Transplant Games Federation. Also a special welcome to members of our Federal Parliament and the Parliament of Western Australia, and to our host city, the City of Perth, and welcome also to the town of Cambridge. Welcome to the consulate representatives of many of the countries represented here at these Games. And it's also wonderful to see support from the Organ and Tissue Authority and Donate Life and all our transplant units here in Western Australia. And of course to sponsors, supporters and community partners. And finally, the biggest of welcomes to our recipients, donor families, living donors, families and friends, and transplant community right across the world. A huge welcome to you all. And for that wonderful music that we were all hearing just moments ago, a huge thank you firstly to the singer herself, Rose Parker, for performing tonight the world premiere of her song Because of You in honour of her brother Tim, who became an organ donor. This song was written exclusively for these World Transplant Games and the first presentation of it. And alongside Rose tonight, also Dan Ritchies and Jim Fisher, both with their own stories of just how important and life-changing organ donation can be. So a big thank you to all of you. It now gives me great joy to ask Noongar Elder Dr. Richard Wally to the microphone to give tonight's Welcome to Country.
Kwop kerlak kaya wanju ngala jerap jenang nanak jenang ngala murt buja kaya wa. Maman jenang nanak jenang ngala buja. Maman jenang nanak kaya jen. Korko karajan wangin karajan kaya wa. Nanak jenang wajak buja ngala murt buja kwop and buja kwabadak buja. Bau badawan nanak ngandin yang kwop ngandin maman jenang ngala. Bau badawan nanak wort ko nanak kalak nanak buja nanak murt. Maman jenang nanak kaya wa. We ask the good spirit to keep everyone safe. This is called the Wajak section of the Noongar language group. We call this the Bilya Buja, the place by the river. We ask the good spirit to keep you safe as you travel and when you share food, share drink, share conversation. But more importantly, you create and share stories because we're all linked by stories and songline. This is one of our song lines here. We welcome and honor on behalf of our people, but you see unique plants and animals in this place. It's a place where we are the last comers. The plants rear before us, followed by the animals, and we as people follow the animals and the plants. Ngani nyue, koben, ngani nyue, wale jeri nyue, This is the home of the emu, the eagle, the kangaroo, the willy wagtail we call the chitty chitty. We pay tribute to these animals as we do the dances that's been handed down to us through some estimated 2,000 generations. Ngani nye, ngani nye, ngani 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 nye, ngani morbo jege ngani nye, open de jege ngani nye, ngani morbo jege ngani nye. We're happy to have you here from many different countries. We do a happy dance, we call this a Jurpen. Marla Jurpen, Quopen Jurpen, hunting a Jurpen, nigga Jurpen, woman a Jurpen, 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 Quopen Jurpen, hunting a Jurpen. With this dance we share with you, we want you to dance on this country and be happy while you're here. Tap into your happy place and send your happy energies to your families throughout the world. Nyambe mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe nyambe bola nyunga bola 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 nyunga bola bola ngan mor boja 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 ngan mor boja 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 nyambe mera nyambe mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe nyambe bola nyunga bola 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 nyunga bola bola nyambe mera nyambe mera nyambe 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 mera nyambe mera nyambe nyambe nganije warane ngan koli warane ngan murbu jege warane overndi jege warane ngara kuringi warane 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 ngara kuringi warane. Quob Kettler, may the good spirit keep everyone safe. We'd like to thank you for including a welcome in our culture. It's a sign of respect. Respect is the greatest asset, regardless of where we're from and who we are. May pay respect to you and may the good spirit take you safely home when this is all completed. Quob Kettler, Kaiawa.
Thank you so much, Richard, for your beautiful welcome to country. And I too would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this beautiful land here that we are meeting on, and for all that is to unfold over this next week, the Whadjuk Noongar people, and to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. In terms of what this next week should unfold, I'm very lucky in my job with ABC Sport to have covered so much sport over a long time, international sport included, but never one like this. And I feel so honoured to be here in this capacity of MC in your opening ceremony. I do have a dear member of my family, Lucy, in Sydney, who is part of the team in the lung transplant clinic at St Vincent's Hospital there, the centre in New South Wales for heart and lung transplants. I would now like to please ask Mr Jason Ryan, Chair of Transplant Australia, to provide a formal welcome on behalf of the Games host, Transplant Australia.
Firstly, thank you, Richard, and the Indigenous performers. That was wonderful. And I too would like to acknowledge all of those Indigenous heritage here this evening, and I pay my respects. Mr Coates, Assistant Minister Carney, Minister Sanderson, transplant recipients, living donors, donor families, family and friends, welcome to Perth and welcome to Australia, and welcome to the 24th World Transplant Games. This week, there'll be in excess of 1,500 participants, supported by more than 400 volunteers, sports officials and staff, and we'll celebrate the greatest gift of all here in Perth. Transplant Australia is committed to helping transplant recipients live their lives to the fullest, and sport and activity are crucial drivers of well-being. Lots has been achieved, but we believe also that much more can be done to improve organ donation, both here and overseas, and that is why the Transplant Australia Board is so committed to this event. It highlights the benefit of donation, and every recipient here is living proof of that. To our partners who believed in us, thank you. It was very difficult on the back of COVID, but we're here, and looking at all of you, looking at me, is wonderful. So those people, particularly the Australian Government, through the Office of Sport and the Organ and Tissue Authority, the Western Australian Government, through Tourism WA, the Department of Health and the Department of Local Government, Sport and Culture and Industries, Lottery West, Venues West, the City of Perth, AstraZeneca, Coogee Chemicals, the McCusker Charitable Foundation, the Town of Cambridge, the Rothwell Family Foundation. Along with the contribution of many event, media and community partners, thank you all for making this happen for us. To the Local Advisory Committee, Troy and Julie Scuds, Jason Pearce, Marg Martin, Julie Maloney, Glenda Raymond, thank you. And especially to the 400 volunteers who will support these games over the next week, thank you. And to the team managers and all of you who have travelled near and far to be here, every individual is contributing to make a collective difference to improve transplantation for the next generation. And then there's our staff who believed in these games and saw them through the pandemic and COVID. Chris, Joe, Julie, Kristen, Ian, Jenny, Vivian, and the event team, Gemma, Dave and Bailey. These are your games. You made it happen. We supported you, and well done. Thank you so much to all the staff. To the Minister and Assistant Minister, Transplant Australia has supported Organ and Tissue Authority and Donate Life from day one, and you can be assured that we'll continue to work positively with your governments. We want to improve donation in Australia, and our role and the role of all the recipients is to instil confidence in the donation and transplantation system. These games are one part of that solution, and we won't stop until every available organ becomes a gift. So the legacy of these games should be increased registration on the donor register and increased awareness of the importance of donation. I acknowledge the work of the World Transplant Games Federation through Chris and the executive to champion the cause of transplant sports. To have the full support of the International Olympic Committee is amazing, and we have our very own IOC and sporting royalty here, Mr. Coates. Thank you. Thank you for your attendance. And to our ambassador, Alice Tate, who is here tonight, thank you for believing and championing our message with your support. And personally, a huge thank you for what you have all given me. This has to be the most grateful and happy bunch of people on the planet. And I love being a part of all of you. Thank you very much. Enjoy the games.
Thank you, Jason. The Office for Sport and the Organ and Tissue Authority have been wonderful partners in the delivery of these games. And I would now like to ask the Assistant Minister for Health, the Honourable Jed Carney, to speak on behalf of the Australian Government here tonight.
Thank you, Karen. And thank you, Dr. Wally, for that beautiful, beautiful welcome to country. I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Whadjuk Noongar people, and pay my respects to elders past and present. Your custodianship for tens of thousands of years of the lands and the waterways in this region enriches us all. And I extend that respect to other First Nations people with us today. I'm very proud to be part of a government that is committed to supporting the Uluru Statement in full. That's voice, treaty and truth. I'd like to acknowledge all of my wonderful colleagues here with me today. I won't go through them all because you've heard them all introduced before, but they are all absolutely committed not only to organ transplant, but to these games. And to all of the athletes, the families and supporters from Australia and right across the world, welcome, welcome, welcome. Do you know, prior to entering politics, I was a nurse for many years, and I had the honour of working on a liver transplant ward. And I will never ever forget my very first liver transplant patient. He was extremely ill, in fact, near death on the ward. And to this day, I remember the absolute relief we all felt when literally we had a buzzer, when that buzzer went off in the ward and we knew that we had a donor and a liver. A life-changing match had been found for him. And I rushed into his room where he was so sick, connected to all sorts of tubes and machines. And I said to him, "We've got a donor, we have a liver for you." And he said, "You know, I've always been lucky like that." It was something that I will never, ever forget. He left the hospital a changed man, knowing his potential for a longer, healthier life was thanks to the ultimate gift from another person, his donor. We all know that while his dream had come true, another family was grieving a loved one. We have a number of donor families here at the Games, and I know I'm speaking on behalf of everyone here when I say thank you. Thank you for saying yes to donation at such a tragic time in your life. And of course, I want to acknowledge the living donors here who selflessly have given their kidney or part of their liver so another life can live a full life. None of this is lost on us here. It's one of the reasons we come together every 2 years to celebrate the gift of life at the World Transplant Games. These 24th Transplant Games celebrate stories of hope, stories of sacrifice, and stories of love. And what a wonderful way to celebrate life. You are all, each and every one of you here tonight, an absolute inspiration. The Australian Government is proud to be a major sponsor of the Games, and the World Transplant Games are an important milestone for Australia's green and gold decade. The Games celebrate not just sporting success, but the ability to overcome incredible odds. You're all champions in your own right. And I hope the coming days here in Perth provide the chance for you to meet, share experiences, and make wonderful new friends. These games have already started a public conversation about the importance of signing up to be an organ and tissue donor. Let's keep that conversation going and be inspired by the athletes to register. Nearly 17,000 Australians have received a life-saving organ transplant since the Donate Life national program officially began in 2009, with thousands more receiving life-changing tissue donation. None of this would be possible without the generosity of donors and their families. So thank you to Transplant Australia and the Federation for its dedication to support those with a transplant and their families. Thank you to the 400 volunteers for giving up their time and energy. Your contribution is essential to the success of the Games. Thank you to the Western Australian Government for hosting the Games in this beautiful city. It's really gorgeous. I hope the athletes, supporters and visitors have time to explore Perth. It's an absolute gem. And finally, to all the competitors, go you good things, all the very best for the Games. And I just want to say, because I've always wanted to say this, let the Games begin.
I love that. Thank you, Minister. The Games could not have taken place without the support of the Western Australian Government, and I would now like to ask the Minister for Health, the Honourable Amber Jade Sanderson, to the lectern.
Thank you. It is a great honour to be here on behalf of the Premier of Western Australia to welcome all of you to the best city in the world, Perth, Western Australia. But I do so first by acknowledging that we are standing on Whadjuk Noongar land and acknowledge the custodians of this land, their resilience and their custodianship of the country we are on and this country. And thank you, Richard, for that lovely welcome to country. It is a huge honour to host such a joyous occasion and to see so many happy, smiling faces, so grateful to be here and the journey that you have been on, which has been a long and hard one. We know that the journey to transplant is long, it is hard, there are many close calls, hospitalisations, and to have a huge international event that celebrates that journey and your ability to live a longer life is a true honour to be held in Perth. So I thank Transplant Australia for choosing Perth. And I want to acknowledge, of course, our living donors and donor families who are essential to that journey and thank them for their commitment and their support of our broader community. I do want to obviously acknowledge that this is a fantastic and joyous event, and you will be spread across the city, and you'll be able to see a number of our fantastic sporting facilities. And I hope that you very much enjoy your time here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support of our city, and I look forward to the Games. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. And now to the architect behind these Games, the man of many hats, Mr. Chris Thomas, President of the World Transplant Games Federation.
How good is this? In the words of Gordon Rutty, how good is this? This is the most beautiful stadium in the world, and it's been arranged exclusively for all of you because you deserve it. I have had just the greatest privilege of being the president of the World Transplant Games Federation for the last 8 years. This isn't just my gift to you, this is the gift from Transplant Australia, our whole team, everyone who has worked so hard to bring these games. This is our gift to you. Thank you for coming down under. Thank you, ministers, to our athletes, our donor families, living donors, the worldwide transplant family. Thank you for letting me be part of this family. Jason has already thanked the team of Transplant Australia. However, I can't let this opportunity go by without echoing his thoughts. There were times when we thought this was going to be too hard. COVID, lockdowns, restrictions on travel. But as many of you may know, giving in isn't in my DNA. And when we're backed by the most dedicated and committed team anyone could possibly hope to lead, it makes this role much easier. So thank you to the team who's made these games possible. I have to call out Rose Parker. I had an opportunity to have a radio interview with Rose just a few nights back. She wrote this song because of you, about her brother who passed away as an organ donor just a year ago, and she wrote this song literally last week, and this tonight is the world premiere. Rose, that was just magic. Of course, I can't help but think of the people who should be here and aren't here tonight. We've lost many good friends through the pandemic and through the age of time, 4 years since Newcastle 2019. And I would just like to take a moment's silence for everyone to think of someone special in their hearts who isn't with us physically tonight, but is with us in spirit. Thank you everyone. I would like to now move to our Hall of Fame. In 2017, in my first role as President, I was pleased to introduce the Hall of Fame into the Federation. The Hall of Fame recognises two categories of persons who have made the Games and the Federation what it is today. There is the spirit of competition, recognising recipients with close to 30 years participation in the Games, an extraordinary achievement. And there is the spirit of leadership, recognising those who have contributed significantly to the Federation and world transplant sports. I have the pleasure, the absolute pleasure, of inducting new faces and people that we all know and love into the Hall of Fame tonight. And so firstly, to the spirit of competition. And I would like to invite Janos Sendiv, the two-time kidney recipient from Hungary. Janos has competed in 14, please come forward, 14 Summer World Transplant Games, 8 Winter Transplant Games, with his first Games in Vancouver, Canada in 1993. Welcome, Janos. Congratulations. Very close to Hungary. Thank you, sir. and to our second inductee into the Spirit of Competition Hall of Fame. One of the faces we all know and love. This man has been to 16 World Transplant Games, with his first games being in 1987 in Innsbruck, Austria, and he has also attended all 3 games in Australia in 97, in Sydney, and in the Gold Coast in 2009. 3 times kidney recipient from Team Italy, Michael Prenna. As Michael makes his way out, could I please ask Liz Hosford to come forward, please, and I'll explain Liz's story in a moment. Michael Prenna. Joining them on stage is Liz Hosford, who was actually inducted into the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago at the height of COVID, but now in front of our worldwide family, we just want to say, Liz, you're formally inducted into it. Please come forward. Stay there. The spirit of leadership. Our first inductee is not here tonight, but back resting up in the Netherlands after a recent illness. Andre Lassoure received a double lung transplant in 1996, and since then has not only competed at an extraordinary high level, but also worked tirelessly with the transplant sport family, including the Dutch Association, the European Heart and Lung Federation, and the World Transplant Games Federation, serving on the board and leading the sports committee in 2021. In 2017, he cycled thousands of kilometres across Europe to promote paediatric transplantation. And do we have a representative of the Netherlands to come forward and receive Andre's Hall of Fame? And I might have just changed from the program, so I'm sorry, Gemma, but we do need to have Peter to come down to receive this Hall of Fame award on behalf of Andre.
Please pass this on to Andre without thanks.
I will definitely do so. He will be so proud. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I will give him your kind please. Thank you.
The second inductee for the Spirit of Competition, unfortunately, is also not here, but almost made it to the Games. Fatima Hashimi Bahraimi, as President of the Iran Specific Patients and Transplant Sports Federation, she developed a network of offices in every city in Iran and is now helping more than 9,000 patients heal through sports. She has built various hospitals for transplant recipients, as well as those with special diseases. Accepting the award tonight is the team manager, Mohsen Mosari. Mohsen, please. Oh, sorry, I'll give that to John.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pass on our congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you. Wonderful. The next and final inductee into the Spirit of Leadership actually comes 2 years too late, because This should have been done in this gentleman's home country of the United States of America. But I'm so pleased to announce that our good friend on the World Transplant Games Federation, Mr. Gary Green, is inducted into the Spirit of Leadership Hall of Fame. Gary, please come forward. Gary was pivotal in launching the US Transplant Games and began attending the World Games in Vancouver in 1993. Gary has been with us ever since, elected onto the Council in 1995 and served as Chair of the Sports and Judiciary Committees. Also elected to the Executive Board, first as Treasurer, it goes on, and then as Honorary Secretary. Gary is now the World Transplant Games Federation Sports Manager as well as the Team Manager for USA. And I'm so pleased to call this guy a dear friend, and we're so pleased to induct Gary into the Hall of Fame. Gary.
I did not see this coming, Chris. Thank you very much. We got that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our inductees into the Hall of Fame. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Michael, Liz. Thank you. Thank you. Well done, guys. My final role here tonight is to announce a new award for the World Transplant Games. At the end of the week, we will appropriately recognise award winners who have amassed a swag of medals in amazing performances. But this new award is to be known as the Inspiration of the Games Award. It will no doubt be somewhat subjective, but will be awarded to someone who represents the values of these games, someone who goes above and beyond to help their fellow recipients, someone who at all times shows great leadership. This will be the first time that this award will be given. However, we all know someone, if they were with us today, would be a very good contender for this award. Someone who dedicated their life to helping others, someone who inspired not just by words but by actions, someone we called a dear friend. Matty Hemstalk was, until December, when he passed away suddenly, Transplant Australia's sports administrator. He was heavily invested in these games and in the rehabilitation and well-being of his fellow recipients. Matty lived transplantation. It is my honour, therefore, to ask Lois Hemstalk, Matty's mum, and Melissa Hemstalk, Matty's sister, and family members to come forward to receive the inaugural Inspiration of the Games Award, awarded to Matty Hemstalk by the World Transplant Games Federation. Matty was very passionate about these games. He would be stoked all of you made the effort to be here, but he wouldn't have liked all the fuss. Matty, this award is for you.
Well, I watched him circle round the block, finally stop at mine. Excuse me, ma'am, maybe you can help. The directions weren't so clear. I'm looking for a Libby's end. You said I might find her here. Well, I looked real hard and asked him what she's got you're looking for. Said there's something I think she'd want to know, and I let him in the door. It's not like me to trust so quick, caught me by surprise. But something about him gave me ease, right there in his eyes. Just like that, your life can change if I hadn't looked away. My son might still be with me now. He'd be 25 today. No knife can carve away the pain, no drink can drown regret. They say Jesus brings you peace and grace. Well, he ain't found me yet. Na 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 na. Well, he sat down, took a deeper breath, then looked right in my face. Said I heard about the son you lost, how you left without a trace. I spent years trying to find you so I could finally let you know. It was your son's heart that saved me, and a life he gave us both. And just like that, your life can change. Look what the angels sent. I laid my head upon his chest with my boy again. I spent so long in darkness, thought this night would end. But somehow grace has found me, and I had to let him in. Na 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 na.
Congratulations to Matty, to all of his family here with us tonight. Could I please now ask athletes Joshua Yates, Karen Litchfield and Kate Clark to read the athlete's oath. And also joining them on stage, Betty Hislop to read the official's oath. Betty is in the darts coordinator as well position, as well as being a donor family member. Please welcome them all to the stage.
You right? Just a step forward.
tell me when.
Now.
Speaking now? Yep. In the name and on behalf of all the competitors in this 24th World Transplant Games, we promise the following.
That we acknowledge our undertaking to conform to the Athlete Code of Conduct signed by us.
We will participate in these games respecting and abiding by the rules which govern them and in the spirit of fair play, equality and inclusion for all. To honour our donors and be thankful to their families and everyone who helped us along the journey to where we stand today. And all this united in celebration of the gift of life without any form of discrimination for the glory of sport, to honour of our team and country.
In the name of all the judges, I promise that we shall officiate in the World Transplant Games with complete impartiality, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern them, and in the spirit of fair play, equality and inclusion for all, in the true spirit of sportsmanship.
I would now like to ask Chair and Vice Chair of Transplant Australia WA, Troy Scudds and Glenda Raymond, to come and receive and raise the World Transplant Games flag. The raising of the flag will be accompanied by our wonderful West Australian entertainers tonight: transplant recipient Mr. Jim Fisher, donor family member Rose Parker, and Indigenous performer Mr. Dan Riches, singing Lanterns by WA band Birds of Tokyo.
Thank you. I'd just like to say hi. I'm a liver transplant recipient, 24 years this December. I've never been with so many people with transplants. The other thing is, I'm on the kidney transplant list doing dialysis at the moment. So I'm about the most overqualified musician they've ever had. Quite good at the guitar too, by the way. Okay, let's do this thing. Dan, kick us off, son.
us will look for a place I've never seen. It's been calling out to me, that is where I should be.
Okay, for you people from all around the world, and you people that can't understand me, I hope to meet you after the gig, because I've never, as I said, I've never been surrounded by so many people who have received transplants. So I hope to chat to some of you. But this is a song that's kind of like an Australian anthem, and it was written about Indigenous people's land rights. It was written in the 80s, I believe, by a fantastic musician. And we're going to feature our fantastic didgeridoo player here. You Aussies will know it. It's called Solid Rock. Changes, not in a hurry anyway. Feel the endlessness with the coming of the light of day. We're talking about a chosen place, when sell it in a marketplace. Well, just a minute now, and they were standing on solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line. Solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line. Right down the line. Round about the dawn of time, when dreaming all began, a proud people came. They were looking for their promised land, running from the heart of darkness, searching for the heart of light. Well, it was their paradise, and they were standing on solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line. Solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line.
They were standing on the shore one day, saw the white sails in the sun. Not long before they fell asleep, white man, white love, my God. Don't tell me that it's justified. Somewhere, someone lied. Yeah, someone lied. Yeah, someone lied. Yeah, someone lied. And they were standing on solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line. Solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line. Solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line. Solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line. Solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change blowing down the line.
Big hand for this man. Big hand for him. It's the first time we've ever played together.
Thank you again for such brilliant music for the opening ceremony tonight. I would now like to ask Mr. John Coates to officially open the 24th World Transplant Games. And can I please also ask Robert Yates to come and join us on the stage?
G'day, Robert. I also begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of this place by the river and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who may be here tonight. I acknowledge my friends, some new, some I've known for a while. We've got Karen, Richard's new, and then Jason, Jed, Amber, Jade, and Chris. And I particularly, in acknowledging Jed and Amber, Jade, thank you for your government's contributions to this event, which wouldn't happen without that, so thank you. I thank you all for the warm welcome we all received to this wonderful opening ceremony. Let me convey the greetings and best wishes for all of the athletes from the President of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, whom I have the honour to represent here today. He has a particularly close association with your games. He was an ambassador for them in Germany, and he's very sorry he couldn't be here, but he got his next best person. And so it's my pleasure to be here. But before I speak further to the athletes, let me add my thanks to the living donors and donor families here today. I actually found it quite emotional watching you assemble outside and then watching you come in and join us tonight. And I thank you for the contributions that you've made that in the end have made these games possible. To all the athletes, and that's what we're here for, I wish you a fantastic competition at these World Transplant Games. Now it's your time to shine in the sport you love. Enjoy every moment here, together with your family, friends and fans who will be cheering you on all the way. Your participation here in Perth is an inspiration to us all. You are a wonderful demonstration of the power of sport to change lives for the better. Every single athlete is proof that anyone can lead full, energetic and healthy lives. You remind us that the true meaning of a champion is about so much more than just winning. You are living the new Olympic motto, faster, higher, stronger, together. The word together tells us no matter what obstacles we face, we can only go faster, aim higher, become stronger if we stand together in solidarity. This is why the World Transplant Games are a celebration of humanity, a celebration of life. And this is why our IOC President Thomas Bach regards you and these games as part of our Olympic family. My heartfelt congratulations go to the World Transplant Games Federation and the organising committee for bringing the transplant community together in such an excellent way, and I also thank the volunteers, the 400 or so of you who are making us all feel so welcome. Thank you, volunteers. With the Olympic and Paralympic Games Brisbane 2032 already on the horizon, these World Transplant Games are showing Australia at its best. This is something that the great city of Perth can be very proud of. Thank you, Perth. And all that remains, and why I'm here, is I declare open the 24th World Transplant Games.
Thank you very much, John Coates. As I said earlier, it's such a very, very special place, this stadium, and we can't leave it without its famed light show. But the light show cannot start without someone pressing this very impressive yellow button. And it's with great pleasure that I ask Master Robert Yates, kidney recipient from Queensland, to do the honours. But Robert, what will happen, I just want to say before this magic button gets pressed, after the light show, registered participants are welcome to join us in the Riverview room. And thank you again to all of our speakers tonight. Thank you to Optus Stadium, and the very best of luck to all of you competing this week at the Games. Now, Master Yates, if I could ask everyone here, we're going to do a countdown from 10, and then your chance to put your hand on that amazing yellow button. So let's give the countdown, everyone. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.